Welcome back to the second half of Olympus Rises. Glad you all could be here. Good session so far. Lots of successful checks. Actually, I'm pretty proud of everybody for not screwing that up, because there's definitely, when you discharge weapons on a lawful station, definitely cause some problems. But this time, the party has gotten away with it. No meddling kids to speak of. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Hello.
Yep.
Good day.
I was just saying, I'm really proud of you guys for not fucking any of that up, because I gave it plenty of chances.
Yeah.
Everybody had plenty of chances to screw it up and to excel. It was a good balance of...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It also means that we've probably used up all of our luck for the next 3 weeks.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you have. Hey, Will, how's it feel not to roll ones all the time again?
It's like a whole new world. I didn't think such a thing was possible.
We really
That's
are the same
exactly
person,
what I
because I was actually going to start singing that myself. Fantastic, good. Glad you all got out of that alive. At least not arrested. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to get over to the repair platform, because of your deal that you made, Fortune. You will have to you're using like a military repair platform. You're not using like a local crew to come in. It's actually going to be like military engineers that are going to come fix the ship.
Cool.
So you got to fly to like a different like subsidiary station, like one of the actual like dockyards that's surrounding Sorn. And when you do, there's the momentary reprieve from not being in danger. What steps does everyone take to move on to the next phase?
I mean, Gogo asked what the hell happened, because
Sure.
she doesn't know why those people were shooting at us, or what. She assumes it's something her crew did. She just, based on some assumption, some of you fucked up somehow, and that's why they're shooting at you.
This is really important because we haven't done this in a while. Megan, what's in your mouth?
Pizza.
Hey,
Pizza high five.
Feeling kind of left out.
Yeah,
that's in my mouth
I
too.
don't have pizza. Sorry.
Yeah, it's delicious. Steak burrito pizza.
That sounds delicious. I'm very jealous.
I disagree. I think burritos should be left with burritos, and pizza should not be joining that world.
Oh no, it's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Why don't you just make the pizza into
A burrito and then eat it? Fair. He has a fair point.
That is,
Roll
yeah.
it up.
It basically can be in a matter of moments if I wanted to. So
I guess that would just be a calzone. So
Wait.
I'm
Wait.
Yeah,
sorry.
Wait.
Say that again.
No, just let it go. We already like ganged up on Will.
But yes, it would be a calzone.
Yes, it would.
Somehow I feel like not acknowledging it is making it worse.
This is why he doesn't show up to your games, Jordan.
Oh God.
To be fair, if I was playing a game with a bunch of people from another country, I would expect to get ridiculed at my language as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you got on the Star Wars train, that
The
could have
problem
been
is
your
it's
home.
True.
saying the language.
Italian calzone.
Listen. So first of all,
No, don't. Just don't. It's fine. We believe you, Will.
We love you,
Moving
Will.
on. Moving
so
on.
Gogo asks what the hell happened.
Yeah. Do I get a debrief, or do you all just say don't worry about it? Which I might also accept.
No,
but...
Oscar fills you in. He says, exchange was going fine till I mentioned Raimondi. Then the bots flipped and the others followed suit.
also clear that they wanted her for what purpose. I mean, I know she's a pretty good weapon, but did we figure that out?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. She's a pretty good weapon.
Fair enough.
Not clear to me anymore who the contract was posted by. If it was Johann himself and they sought to rob us, or if somehow they caught wind that we had her and managed to
well, the two guys that were left
themselves.
The two guys that were left on the ship said they were sent to intercept the delivery. So I'm assuming they found out we had it when we got it.
Kind of them to pay us.
You're telling me.
Don't mention that to Johann.
Had no intentions of doing so.
Oscar just nods. But he says, yeah, something about Raimondi set off the cyborgs, and the others made the mistake of attacking us as well. Good job catching Westcott, by the way. I can't believe
Cougar
we weren't arrested.
She's like, yeah, well, quick thinking on the intercept. I'm pretty sure they would have got me otherwise.
Oh, all wrapped up.
I'm pretty sure those cyborgs were more Barb Society than Kuchera, though.
Either way.
Tend to modify their footmen like that.
Their intolerance for aliens is what set it off.
Could be. Regardless, I will be happy to have this child off the ship.
I was going to be off the ship either way. I was just going to leave her in the loading dock. Bye.
Cougar just like stares at Fortune.
So, you all make your way over to the space yard. And when you arrive, obviously, before you're able to dock, you have to send all the proper authorization. And Fortune, you have all that in the contract details, right? And so you send the proper authorization, and you they give you clearance to dock, and you bring the ship in. And as you guys get clearance, I think that you're greeted at the loading ramp, because this one, you don't fly into a spaceport like you did before and dock like that. This one, it actually connects to you, because the engineers are gonna have to go on the outside of the ship and repair all of it basically. I assume, Fortune, you do the whole business thing where you're talking with the quartermaster that shows up at the loading ramp. And
do someone else first, because I got to look up some information before all this happens.
Sure. So
I think I'm going to try to do.
Yeah. So as a group of you arrive, you're greeted with a couple of guards, and the quartermaster shows up. But I think that Oha also makes an appearance. And probably, I assume you give her the same debrief.
Oh yeah, I probably would have made sure that she was there, and when we were filling in Go-Go, she would have been present for whatever was discussed after the fact.
Right. So she probably says to you, she says, "It is disturbing that they can intercept communique as such. That's not easy to do, especially with a situation like this where there's so much going on. I think that perhaps we should inform this Johann that there are others that are monitoring his traffic."
Certainly. Given his position, be better to have him an ally. Have him know that he's not having have him know that he's being monitored in this way.
Yes, it will at least give him a chance to abate it.
Perhaps, since I don't believe any of them are going to be reporting back ever, perhaps he could even use it to his advantage.
Yes, indeed. Although,
Send false flags
yeah,
over the same channels.
yeah, and she says, although, and she looks at the box, right? She's like, I kind of like the putting it in the airlock and simply losing it.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered it more than once.
Yes, but
All the same, would rather keep Johann on our good side and not have to deal with it.
enemies closer and all that.
Exactly.
Yes, well, perhaps that is a good idea.
Was considering it more strongly before I realized those that attacked us were not the same that were meant to actually take her.
Yes, indeed.
Perhaps there's still room for discussion.
Well, everything we know about this Johann, he comes across as, well, a businessman. I think that's the danger that we perhaps have is him selling it to the highest bidder. It is possible that these syndicate men decided that they didn't want to pay the price.
Certainly not Father of the Year, but easy enough to understand if he's just driven by money.
Indeed. Well, we shall meet him soon enough, I suspect.
Yeah, he nods, you know. So at this point, are we actually?
Yeah, at this point you've actually
we're there
docked.
and repairs are underway, and
Yeah, and fortunately, it's not really an interaction scene.
I'm ready.
But if you wanted to do something, the quartermaster comes up and asks you to present your papers.
Yeah, here's the paperwork. And it was also agreed that while you guys are doing the work, they'd go ahead and put a workshop in for us as well, since right here it says in the contract I'm making weapons for Westwind now. So
Sure, yeah. He kind of looks over and he's like, I don't see any plans for a workshop here.
well, I mean, I'll pay for it. That's not a problem. It just they said they'd give me a discount or something, just because it's Westwind. I'm working for Westwind. It's a Westwind workshop going on a Westwind ship for Westwind parts.
Oh, well, guess that seems like perhaps something we can arrange. I don't know about a discount though. Are you trying to get a business roll in here? Yeah. So why don't you business roll with charisma? You're trying to charm this guy and convince him with your words. Okay, it's a basic success.
I think you needed to say Westwind at least 6 more times.
Yeah, maybe a couple more times.
Yeah, so I think that a basic success here is he's still gonna do it, but he won't charge you labor because they're already working on everything, which means basically 1,000 credits are knocked off the price. Nothing substantial, but I think that makes it what
4K.
Yeah, this is normally
5,000.
Well, actually, hold on. No. Oh no, it is. You're right. It's normally 5,000. It doesn't have an asterisk on it.
It doesn't have an asterisk.
That's what you were looking up.
hey, penny saved is penny earned.
Yep. Yeah. So it'll
But I
cost.
also have to make sure that Freddie McFreightface can fit this.
Yeah. So let's check that out. So you need 1 free mass and
it'll
2
work.
free power. I think that you're good there.
We've got 4 mass and we've got 3 power.
Okay. As a question, Dr. Fisher,
Mm-hmm.
do you jump in here at any point?
Oh, you're doing that.
We definitely do not have 50k on hand, so no. Even if it's 49k.
Shit, for what?
Well, just as a reminder, if you look at the ship, you have 20,000 in the GoFundMe.
But we haven't paid for our monthly fee this month.
Yeah.
Correct. That is
And
true.
we haven't split it up after that either.
Mm.
So.
Gotta feed Oscar.
Oscar does need to get
Oscar
paid
gets real cranky if he doesn't get paid.
for once ever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
On the note of getting paid, I would at some point say, hey, our medical supplies are running low. I would like to take some out of the ship's costs to restock at least med packs.
That should be fine, but let's see what our total payout for this delivery is first.
Out of character, I
Mhm.
thought that we had just been saying like the ship is always stocked and we just kind of buy them as we go.
You can totally say that, but I mean, if he wants to go, like that works for
Yeah, that's cool.
med kits. Dr. Fisher, you might be talking about like other like stims and stuff, right?
Yeah,
those
I
are going to
kind of
need to
figure
be
stims are more my personal items.
Yeah, those are going to need to be
So-
bought ahead of time as opposed to the med kits.
Yeah, this
Sure.
is. Yeah, I mean, for my action, sometime on this trip would be to have a big medical supply.
Yeah, I definitely think that you could do that here for sure. Definitely places to go get, and they're just normal price. But if you want any of the special stuff, just let me know, and we'll see what we can work out. Obviously. So as business gets settled and they agree to knock the labor off of the work, and the workshop will be done at the same time the ship will be done. Now here's the deal. It does take a while for the ship to be repaired. So you guys are going to have quite a bit of time. It's not that, luckily you don't have to pay for it, but there is going to be quite a bit of time in which you have to spend waiting for the ship to be repaired. And let me just find that just real quick. There is an actual, like, I want to say it's like a week per hit point, but that could be wrong. Sounds like a
That
lot.
would be a long time.
So we're retiring then.
Here, starship maintenance and repair. Yes. So yeah, so frigate's normally 1,000 per HP, but you don't gotta worry about that. Let's see. Oh, it's 1 day per hit point.
Cool.
So you'll
we'll be
need to
here for
spend
2 weeks.
2 weeks basically in port getting your ship repaired. So that gives you some time to do some things here, but obviously, there's not a ton to do here, and we can kind of fast forward through stuff after we get some immediate stuff out of the way. But obviously, like, renting another ship and going places is totally a thing you could do if you feel comfortable doing so. But I'll leave that up to you guys. You guys can decide what you want to do, or if we just want to fast forward 2 weeks and I'll move ahead all the plans and schemes and stuff. I just wanted to throw that out there so everybody's aware. Anyway, after you guys settle all of that and, Dr. Fisher, maybe you go out and get your stuff, whatever you're going to get. Obviously, just let me know if there's anything special or particular that you... it's going to be normal standard pricing for whatever, if it's listed. If it's one of the unlisted things, let me know.
So one stim which isn't actually listed is the steroid stim.
Yes. Okay. Because it's one of the... It's not listed... It doesn't have a listed price, right? Because it's like one of those special things.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll me a luck save. Because I gotta think, they're pumping out a lot of these things to their own people, so finding one may be hard.
I actually got a luck save, guys.
Yay!
So yeah, how many were you looking to get?
Yes.
Yes, basically. How many am I allowed to buy?
Well, so the thing is, buying these like rare these rare stims, if you buy too many, it will send up red flags to somebody, right? Somebody's like, hey, somebody cleaned us out of
I'm not
rare
planning to
stims.
buy like 100 of them, but certainly like 5 or something.
I think you can
Is there
find
anything
5.
that increases dex? Strength is great and all, but
let's see here.
Do they have skooma stims?
Yeah.
Let me get here. Let me get to medical equipment here. Let me hold up my own thing here.
Yeah, they're sort of between 125 in the book, but that's up to you.
Yeah, so I think that the what do you call it? The steroids are 100. They're on the upper end because they're a little bit special stuff.
I mean, like, even if they have unrefined moon sugar, I'm sure that Fisher is capable of making skooma.
Yeah, so that's the thing is you could also buy like raw materials to make your own, because that's kind of like where you're specializing in, right?
Yeah, I'm researching and actually fabricating more than anything now.
So it's one of those things where you might be able to buy at a cheaper price, but you'd have to make them, and it would obviously take time to make them, you know. So it's up to you. You wanna decide on that, which one you think would be best. Obviously, there's also a chance to fail and lose that money.
Yeah.
I would say, just as a general rule, probably like 50% of the cost is materials and 50% is labor. So you could buy everything for half price, but you'd have to then make it yourself. And just write down like I have materials for X amount of X stim, right? Or X amount of Y stim.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind, but I think for now,
sure.
I need to sort out Chan from going feral.
Yeah. So. For sure.
So yeah, I'll just buy stuff and subtract credits.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like making them, if you wanted to like try and make your own special stim that did special things, that's something we can work into a clock or whatever.
Yeah.
To figure that out. So. Cool.
I'll have a thunk on all of those things and we can retcon things if needed.
Sounds great to me. So as you all are waiting for the ship to show up, Gogo, you're probably sitting in the cockpit, right? At some point.
Sure.
And you're just kind of like, you're probably flipping through your celebrity magazines. And you get there's like a blip on the communications panel. Now there's blips all over the place because ships are moving back and forth. But the sensors pick up a very large ship heading towards you, much larger than like the simple transports that are moving back and forth. In fact, bigger than even like a space truck, right? Moving towards you, and it's of unknown make to the IFF. It doesn't identify it, what it is. Did you want to try and identify it though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, it would be would it be tech astronautics, or I think it would be tech astronautics with intelligence. Or, you know what, vehicle space with intelligence would be appropriate as well, I guess. Either one. Everyone's better for you. Probably vehicle space. Yeah, cool. So, you've probably only seen this class ship in, like, books or schematics or something. But this appears to be a carrier class ship that is of Tan origin. And it's moving, like, its slow hulking frame is moving towards you. Now, for those that may be unaware, carrier class ships are the largest ship in existence. Like, they're basically space hulks, right? Where they're just absolutely massive and just completely, like, almost too big to be allowed sometimes. They're bigger than even battleships. They cost, like, a base level carrier ship costs 60 million credits. And it crews up to 1,500 souls at a time. So it's approaching, and as it gets within range, it hails you.
Yeah, I think like right before that, the second Gogo like realizes who it is, she's like, "All right, guys, Daddy's here." Waits
Is
for the
he
hail.
ever?
So yeah, as the ship like pulls up, it just kind of it can't dock with this platform. This platform that you're on is primarily for a smaller ship. So it docks and it hails you. Oscar, do you answer or do you answer Gogo, since it's like hailing the ship itself, not a personal comm?
I think Gogo would if it's
Yeah,
hailing the ship.
probably me, because
Yeah. So you see Johan's face pop up on the view screen. He says, "Yes, I am here to retrieve my daughter. We will be sending over a shuttle."
have her all packed up and ready.
What do you mean packed up?
You'll see. She just like clicks off.
Oh god.
Yeah, sure. So you just end the communication. And you can tell there's a moment where nothing happens. And like there's a long, like tense moment. Probably not for Gogo. Gogo doesn't care. But then like very shortly you see a shuttle detach, and then the smaller shuttle like flying towards you on the sensor screen. And so it arrives at one of your, like, it flips over and arrives at one of your docking ports along the opposite side of your ship. And who is there to greet these oncomers?
I would be there.
Yep.
Okay.
This is probably when I'm out shopping, so have fun,
and,
guys.
And I'm good. I wouldn't have left my cockpit.
Sure. Oha is there as well. Does anyone tell Chan to be there?
I would have told Chan to stay out of sight.
Okay. All right.
I would assume Chan is directing everyone on the how to fix the ship.
He's trying his best. So as the handle spins around and the door opens, you see the tallish figure of Johan step onto the ship, and he's in imagine him space counselor robes, right? They go all the way down to the floor. They're very pressed and very clean. You can tell he's wearing big shoulder pads. And behind him are a group of Tan soldiers who have their weapons. They're not up, obviously. They're just slung around their necks, but they're holding on to them just in case. And then there appears to be a Tan physician who is bedecked in this kind of cream off-white colored robes. And he's got a medical case with him. And as they come on, Johan kind of looks. He does that thing where he kind of looks over his nose at you, and he says, "Well, where is she?"
Oscar gestures to the crate. He says, "We have had quite an afternoon."
Yeah, he kind of looks at it and he looks puzzled, and he says, "Is this the state that you found her?"
Nope.
He says, "Forgive this, but I wanted to make sure that you were legitimate before I let her out."
And how did you learn of the proper containment procedures?
He says, I suppose we were educated by Kuchera.
Syndicate.
You need to mind your transmissions, apparently. They attempted to beat you to her, and all seemed on the up and up until one was unwise enough to try and attack us.
Interesting development. Been in talks with some members of the Syndicate. I myself am a man of some renown on my planet. We're hoping that we can come to a peaceful solution to this current crisis. But it appears they have backed out of our deal. So be it.
At best, It seems that they've tried to double-cross you. Perhaps not only on this matter.
Well, in that I am glad that you were there to defend my daughter. And Neko. Neko is here too, correct?
He's in the box.
Yeah, points again. Box.
Hope he was not too disturbed. It would be a shame if Amelia was forced to kill him. She loves him dearly.
Johann, may we speak business?
As far as I'm aware, our business is concluded. You will receive payment, I will receive my daughter. What else is there to speak of?
Speaking of that payment, do you know your house alarm thing is like set to kill anybody?
Seems standard operating procedure for Sasha when encountering difficult scenarios.
Was that mentioned in the contract?
It was not.
I'm asking.
Equivalent risks were mentioned.
Cool. Your daughter also tried to kill us. Was that mentioned in the contract?
Also unsurprising. I assume that you startled her in some way.
Well, I mean, your estate was under siege. It may or may not have been us that startled her.
Well, be thankful you are alive.
So, yeah, we're alive, and she's alive because we saved her. Just like earlier today.
Then that seems like payment enough.
No, it doesn't.
Then speak plainly.
We put ourselves at risk 3 times now. One from your daughter to save your daughter. Is there any way to up how much per person thing?
Hard bargain you mercenaries drive.
Gotta make the money, right?
I see. It is credits you wish.
I believe that's standard payment.
Very well. I will pay you as if you had returned all 3.
I do appreciate that, and regret to inform you of your son. He was dead before we could get there.
To be fair, I expected none of them to be alive. I am overjoyed that this one has survived. And Neko.
Well, your home defense system does do a good job.
Thank you. I designed it myself.
Well, there's your box.
Yes. And he kind of like snaps his fingers. And a couple of the soldiers like sling their weapons around to their back. And they walk over and they pick up the box and begin moving it into the shuttle area. The doctor, he like takes a scanner device and he like attaches it, like it's magnetic. He attaches it to the side of the box. And you see him begin like checking his compad for vital signs and nodding and whispering, and clearly he's like communicating with somebody. Like you probably hear him in Tani's basically say like, "Oh, have this ready." You don't know what he says, but you know you get the impression that that's what he's doing. And as they load the box on the ship, the Johann just like offers his hand forward to like for you to give something to him.
I reach out and shake his hand.
He says, "No, I expect you wish payment. Give me a device of some sort."
Oh, okay. I give him my compad.
Yep. And he looks at it and he scrolls through and he transfers. He spins it around to show you 30,000 credits.
Yeah. Oscar,
Does Oscar
you know,
say that?
he peeks at it, and then he, thanks him graciously. Says, "Thank you for understanding the difficulties inherent in completing this."
Good work does not come free unless you make it yourself. That is what I always say.
And after he transferred everything, I would step in a little bit closer, and I'd quietly say, if Kuchera knew how to correctly box up your daughter, you may want to check some people who are close to you who know about that procedure.
Yeah, and he nods. He says, yes, surely.
Hey, yeah, and I think before anyone leaves, I think Oscar says, also, as far as Kuchera is concerned, can guarantee that you would find Raimondi a more steadfast ally. Keep in touch if you have the need.
Yeah, and I think he raises one of his like great white eyebrows because Tan's hair are all white.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing like the guy from Kill Bill.
Yeah, they're much more
Basically.
simian looking than humans. But yeah.
Like the Grandmaster with the crazy facial hair. And...
Yep, exactly. And he kind of nods and he says, perhaps if they have credits, we can make some sort of deal. I will reach out to the council. Although they may not like what I am offering, to be fair. And like he gives you a smile, but like it's like super practiced, rehearsed. I'm in a situation which smiling is supposed to occur, so I'm going to smile now.
I mean, it kind of sounds like he's right on Oscar's wavelength, so that's fine. But
yeah.
He says, the council is not who you were going to want to speak with.
Oh, do you have ambition? And perhaps more credits than I have given you already?
Credits aren't what we're after here. Service. Skill.
See, you are mercenaries after all. I will come to you if I have any other tasks that need completing. I do at some point need to get Sasha's core off of the planet.
Maybe once the ship is fixed.
Perhaps. You will let my advisors know when that has happened?
If you leave us with information, I'll contact them.
Very well. It shall be done. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to go back to... And he kind of like looks up and around at the ship. He goes, my vessel. Thank you for your time.
Sayonara.
Yeah, and he just gets in the shuttle and the door locks closed. And then the shuttle departs back to the carrier.
And we throw a fucking party.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we just got paid.
Sure did. It's almost like I may want you to make those upgrades to your ships. So that perhaps in the future, needed.
So what he's saying is he's trying to kill us.
I'm not trying to kill you. I have never once tried to kill any of you.
We do plenty of that on our own.
Yeah, no, you guys always get yourself in positions that want to kill you.
Yeah, let's talk money.
Yeah, so for the crew, I was thinking, let's just go ahead and leave 2 months of payment in the GoFundMe and split everything else, like 4 ways.
So basically leave the 20K that's already in there, because that's about how much is 2 months.
Yeah. I think
And we split the
paying
next
up
30K.
the ship is fine. Like, feed the ship and then split the rest. It's good by me.
Okay.
So it's 30K 4 ways.
So during this, Oha probably like she nudges your brain, Oscar. And as you turn to her, she probably like maybe she whispers like in your ear, or maybe like she uses the compad to tell you, and she says, "You know, we'll also need startup. Would you like to take that out of your own cut, or
Any funds I have are going toward that.
very well." So everyone, as stated, gets 7,500 credits on their character sheet. But all the things that you might want to buy that would improve the ship, if that's a thing that you were looking to do, probably are going to require some combining, right?
Oh no, I've already paid for mine.
Yeah, Fortune frequently gets paid. It's the rest of us that
No, Fortune just hadn't had to buy anything in a very long time because I didn't go out of my way to buy, like, I don't know, an exosuit. Or
Yeah,
rocket
I don't
launcher.
know, a giant exosuit.
you mean to go out of your way to buy the single thing that has kept your character in the game?
It's not my fault you have poor health. Alright.
We do also have a slight issue of power and mass on the ship is running out. So
Yeah,
I
it
also
might.
have a potentially costly medical procedure to pay for, so I'm
It's
good.
true. That's true as well. That's true as well.
There's research funds for that. I'm sure she has a grant.
I mean, I'm certainly gonna ask about it, but it might require
the
a
way
bit more
you're-
than that.
Yeah, it depends on whether the project is going to be done on the books or off the books, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sure you well know, Matt, grant money can't just go to anything.
Jordan, you don't actually understand science.
Yeah, is that beer money now, Matt?
We're not going to talk about.
Right, because it's not supposed to be beer money. I got
If
you.
it happens
I'm
on
with you.
property, right?
Let me tell you how grants actually work.
Mm-hmm. Enlighten me so I can negotiate with
In
Gogo.
order to be competitive for a grant, the work you're applying for money for practically has to be done already
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
to get said funding.
It's basically
So, like-
money for services at that point, not really like
It's like what needs to happen is you get really lucky when you start a lab. And if you get really lucky, then you can secure some funding without an absolutely tremendous amount of data. And then from that point forward, you're using that money to do as many different things as you can manage to then get other grants funded.
Yeah.
So, like,
it sounds
in practice-
suspiciously like a pyramid scheme. I'm just throwing that out there,
it's
but it
like,
does sound like suspiciously like a pyramid scheme.
it's not a pyramid scheme because you don't get to rope in little people to do work for you.
It's just you.
But it does make it very hard for new labs to compete against established ones, because once you have that money, no one goes really out of their way to check what those supplies are being used for.
Oh, okay.
And most of the time it's anything else, because that work is already essentially completed.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, that's how the NIH works in this country. And this is why I am eager to find a career outside of academia, because it's all fucked up. Sorry to demonetize your video, but
I mean, no. In fact, you have learned us something. Therefore, it will probably remain. Although it doesn't matter in 29
that's
days.
true. Till you get
Won't really
another
matter at all.
800 subs. Thank you, YouTube.
You know what? I didn't even talk about that, but we'll do it in the outro.
We needn't. We needn't.
Yeah.
But
Really.
What were we on the topic of? We were talking about funds.
Well, yeah, we were talking about money, right?
Yeah.
So let's just look at a list, perhaps, all the different things that you could possibly think about getting, or as you were saying, I think you were saying all the different things that you might need to take off, right, Dr. Fisher, because you're running out of power and mass.
Yeah.
So one of the things that would probably be an interesting concept for you all is to that's awesome, Will. Thank you. I appreciate that. It made me chuckle. One of the things that you may need to do is removing a cargo bay to replace it with something else, because cargo bays cost mass but don't cost power. So that may be something you want to look into. Let me open up Freedom and Crate Face here and let's see what we're actually doing. You've already taken off the mass and power for the workshop?
I have.
Okay, cool. Yeah, obviously taking off your weapon would give you some benefit there if you guys wanted to just continue playing the run away game. But
random question.
Yes.
Are they gonna fix our hardened polyceramic overlay?
Yes, that will be repaired.
Cool.
Yep, that's part of the repairing process.
We could lose that.
You could lose that. Yeah, that was kind of a we need something now because we're slowly dying.
Which it's been broken for like a long time.
Yeah, it has been broken for a little while.
Let us note though, it did save my life that
Yes,
one
it did.
time. It was like kind of important that one time when now I'm not dead. Just so
That is
we're all
true.
clear.
That's true. Let's see. Harden up.
Wait, why are we trying to get rid of stuff? I thought we
So
had
you have
two of each left.
Currently, the ship has 1 free power and 2 free mass because you're installing a workshop.
Okay.
You're welcome, everybody.
I mean, to be fair, I would probably come into the workshop and do odd jobs as well.
So things like a laboratory might be, or I'm sorry, a laboratory might be interesting to look into as well. But I'm looking for the extra power upgrade. Find it here because that might do one of the, like if you remove a cargo bay and then add the extra power upgrade, it might be an interesting thing. Auxiliary power unit. Yeah, so you could basically get 5 more power for 1 mass.
Okay.
So you could remove a cargo space and get 5 more power by installing an auxiliary power unit.
Does a cargo space only take up 1 mass?
Yes, cargo space is only 1 mass.
Because it's empty. Space.
Correct. But let me... Because...
For cargo.
It is indeed all of that stuff. But yeah, so that's something to consider, just in case you were looking at that.
What do you want to add, Fisher?
Well, my understanding was that extended medbay is the basically upgrade of my current medbay, which is my lab at the moment.
Yeah, we want Fisher to have that.
Except that's 50k, and it's also
so
1-1.
Yeah, just FYI, the extended med bay does this. The extended med bay would allow Dr. Fisher to be treating all of you simultaneously as opposed to just one person.
Doesn't it also give a bonus?
It does
or am
not.
I thinking of something else?
No, it does not give a
never
bonus
mind.
to the roll.
I thought there was something about that being like an upgraded facility so that he could do cybernetic stuff.
I think it would allow me to do more
I would, yeah, exactly. I would say narratively, yes. If he got the extended med bay, then narratively you could actually perform surgery on the ship, as opposed to the
Triage.
stopgap that you have now. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So, like, Gogo's dad, if I had the extended med bay, instead of just keeping him on life support, then I could
Mhm.
half put him into a cognitive state.
Right.
And
But you're not a surgeon.
I have my doctor's degree, okay? That's
Oh.
all that matters. I have the piece of paper, you don't. So